Most people living in Surrey or Langley right now have no idea one of the biggest changes in decades is already under construction. And the truth is, it's not just a SkyTrain. It's going to completely reshape how you live, how you commute, how you buy and sell property, and even how your neighborhood feels. So let's break down exactly what's coming with the Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension. And by the end of this video, you understand why it's so much more than just a SkyTrain. So imagine this. You wake up in Langley City Centre, you walk a few minutes to a brand new SkyTrain station, and you're in downtown Vancouver. No traffic, no parking, no excuses. And here's the thing, the people who position themselves now, whether that's buying property, opening businesses, or even just choosing where you live, will be years ahead of everyone else. If you're not paying attention to this project right now, you're gonna miss out. Everyone thinks the Surrey Langley SkyTrain station is just about cutting your commute time, and that's where most people get it wrong. Because this isn't just about transportation, it's about an entire economic shift. It's about density, it's about land values, and it's about the way Surrey and Langley are about to grow for the next 50 years. If you think it's just about getting from Langley to King George faster, you're missing the real story. All right, let's dive into it. I'm gonna walk you through everything you need to know about the Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension, the route, the stations, the construction, the timeline, the ridership numbers, the business and real estate impact, and yes, the controversies. And make sure you stick with me till the end because I'm not just going to show you the facts, I'm going to show you what this actually means if you live here, if you own here, and if you're thinking about investing here. The Surrey Langley SkyTrain station is a 16-kilometer extension of the Expo line that's already under construction. It runs along Fraser Highway starting from King George Station in Surrey and going all the way to 203rd Street in Langley City Centre. That's a massive expansion. 8 brand new stations, 3 new bus exchanges, and an end-to-end travel time of 22 minutes between Langley City Centre and King George. If you want to take it all the way downtown, from Langley to Waterfront, you're about 65 minutes in total. No traffic, no guessing, just reliable, consistent travel time every single day. And this isn't just a pie in the sky plan. The budget is already set. Just under $6 billion. The timeline is also already set. It's due to be in service by late 2029. And the work is happening right now. If you're driving along Fraser Highway, you've already seen the lane closures, the detours, the construction cranes. So it's not just a someday project, this is in the works as we speak. So let's break down the stations because this is where it gets really interesting. And as we go through this, I want you to imagine not just what it means for the commuters, but what it means for the neighborhoods, the businesses, the property values, and the day-to-day lifestyle around each stop. The first station is Green Timbers, located at 140th and Fraser Highway. This one connects directly to Surrey Memorial Hospital, the Jim Pattison Outpatient Center, and the RCMP E-Division headquarters. Think about that for a second. Healthcare workers, patients, law enforcement, all of them suddenly have rapid, traffic-free access to the SkyTrain. That's a massive quality of life improvement. Next is 152 Street. Now, right now, this isn't exactly a huge commercial hub, but the second that the station is in place, you can expect surrounding developments to intensify. Remember, TOD, transit-oriented development, is the key phrase here. Wherever a SkyTrain stop goes, the land use plan changes. And density increases and retail pops up, and this station is a perfect example. Then we have Fleetwood at 160th and Fraser Highway. Fleetwood is already in the middle of a transformation with its community plan, and this station is the anchor. Expect more condos, more townhouses, more mixed-use buildings. Fleetwood is going to look completely different in the next decade. Bakerby and 166th Street is next, and this one is important because it comes with a full transit exchange. That means buses feeding into the station from north and south corridors, funneling even more riders into the SkyTrain system. It's also close to the Surrey Sport and Leisure Complex, which means easy access for family and athletes. After that, you got Hillcrest and 184th Street. This one is strategically placed to capture future retail and service developments. Picture new businesses popping up and existing ones suddenly becoming more viable because foot traffic is built in. Then there's Clayton, near 190th Street and Fraser Highway. Clayton is already a hotspot for growth with its corridor plan planning for more density. This station cements the future. Expect a lot more people moving in, a lot more housing, and a lot more commercial activity. Willowbrook and 196th Street is probably one of the most critical stations on this line. Why? Because it sits right at the intersection of Surrey, the township of Langley, and the city of Langley. This is also where another major transit exchange will be built, connecting bus routes from multiple municipalities. If you're trying to understand where the biggest growth nodes will be, Willowbrook is near the top of the list. And finally, Langley City Centre at 203rd Street. This is where the line ends, and it's going to be a major hub. It's not just a SkyTrain station, it's also a transit exchange with secure bike parking, washrooms, retail space, and even a transit police office. Langley City is already planning around this station with land use changes designed to encourage higher density, mixed-use development, and more walkability. In short, this station is going to redefine downtown Langley. So exactly how do you build a 16-kilometer elevated guideway without shutting down the entire city for the next 3 to 4 years? The answer is launching gantries. These are massive, specialized cranes over 100 meters long that are being used to install precast concrete segments. And there are over 4,000 of these segments, each weighing about 28 tons. They're being produced at a dedicated facility and then piece by piece lifted into place to create the guideway. It's efficient, it's safer, and it minimizes disruption compared to other methods. Construction is being split into 3 major packages. The guideway contract is handled by Skylink Guideway Partners. The stations contract, which includes the 8 stations, 3 exchanges, 9 power substations, and even the final stretch of guideway into Langley, a consortium of Aon, Asonia, and Pomerleau, and the systems contract, which covers the track, the power rail, the communications, and the main control systems. That's being done by Transit Integrations BC, made up of Atkins Realis and Western Pacific Enterprises. And these contracts were awarded in 2024 and are now all moving forward. Now, of course, construction comes with disruptions. Fraser Highway has already seen full closures, like the section between 140th and 96th Avenue through October 25, and there are more coming. Lane reductions, night work, noise, detours, these are all parts of the reality of building something at this scale, but the payoff is worth it. The big question everyone asks is when? The answer is late 2029. That's the official in-service date, and so far, the report from the project team has confirmed that this target, that's the official in-service date, and so far, every report from the project team has confirmed that target. Every major project faces challenges, but the contracts are locked in, the construction is underway, and the funding is secured. The total budget is just under $6 billion. To be exact, $5.996 billion. That covers everything from construction to active transportation improvements like bike lane and pedestrian infrastructure. By July 2025, about $1.4 billion had already been spent. That shows you just how much progress has already been made. And every month there are status reports published that track spending progress and milestones. So this isn't something that's happening behind closed doors. The transparency is definitely there. Now let's talk about what this actually means for your daily life. Because yes, 22 minutes from Langley City to King George is pretty impressive. But what's even more important is the reliability. Right now, if you drive that route, depending on the time of day, it could take you 25 minutes or it could take you over an hour. Add in accidents, weather, or construction, and it becomes a total gamble. With the SkyTrain, you get certainty. You know it will take 22 minutes. You know that if you need to get to your job in Surrey Memorial or a meeting downtown or a connection to another line, you can plan your day around it. And let's not forget about the total trip. From Langley to Waterfront, it's about 65 minutes. That's transformative. Suddenly living in Surrey or Langley doesn't feel like you're being cut off from downtown Vancouver. It feels connected, and that changes how people think about where they live and where they can live, where they work, and where they can invest. And by the way, if you're already thinking about how this is going to affect your property, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure out if you're in the right spot, you can call or text me at 604-288-7592. I've got the data, I've got the insight, and I can show you exactly what this project means for you. All right, so what kind of ridership are we actually talking about here? The forecasts say that in the first year of operation, the line will see about 56,000 riders per day. And by 2050, that number climbs to about 80,000 daily riders. Now, those are just projections, and depending on growth, it could be higher or it could be lower. The models actually range from about 64,000 to 80,000 daily riders by 2050. Either way, that's a lot of people. And remember, each one of those riders is someone who's not on the road, not clogging up traffic, and not fighting for parking. So that will be a game changer. But it's not just about the SkyTrain itself. The bus network is also going to shift dramatically. Right now, you've got the bus routes like 320th and 395th that run along Fraser Highway and connect into the existing SkyTrain at King George. Once the new line opens, those routes won't need to run all the way anymore. Instead, they'll be reconfigured to feed into the new stations. That means shorter, more efficient routes and a more connected network overall. And with these new bus exchanges, Bakerview 166, Willowbrook, and Langley City Centre, the transfer points are going to be smoother and more efficient. Now here's a big one that a lot of people still don't realize. There will not be huge park and ride lots at these new stations. The focus is on transit-oriented development. That means higher density housing, retail, and walkable communities built directly around the stations. So if you're picturing massive parking lots like you see at some of the older stations, you could forget it. The policy direction is clear: to encourage people to live, work, and shop near new stations and use buses walking or biking for the first and last mile. It's a different approach, and it's what's going to change the way the neighborhoods look and feel. Okay, so we've covered the basics: the route, the stations, the construction, the contracts, the timelines, the budget, the travel times, the ridership, the bus network, and the development approach. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because next I'm going to dive into the real world impacts: the property values, the business opportunities, the risks, the challenges, the controversies, and more importantly, what this means for you if you live, work, or invest anywhere near this new line. So let's keep going. So here's where the rubber really hits the road. What does this project actually mean for Surrey and Langley neighborhoods? Because let's be real, most people don't care about procurement contracts or construction gantries. What they care about is how this changes their daily life, their community, and their property value. And the truth is, this line is going to transform neighborhoods. Fleetwood is going to become one of the most desirable areas in Surrey. You're going to see more mid-rise and high-rise condos, more retail, and more services. Fleetwood's identity as a sleepy suburb is about to disappear, and it's going to become a very vibrant transit-connected hub. Or let's look at Clayton Heights. Clayton is already growing fast with young families moving in, new schools being built, and more townhouse complexes than ever. At a SkyTrain station, and suddenly Clayton isn't just a nice place to raise kids, it's a place where people can live and still commute quickly into the city. That's a huge selling point, and one that comes with higher demand, higher density, and yes, higher prices. And then there's Langley City Centre. This is probably the biggest transformation of them all. Downtown Langley right now is a mix of small businesses, older condos, and a somewhat sleepy core. But put a SkyTrain station in the middle of it, and suddenly you've got investors, developers, and new businesses flooding in. Retail is going to thrive. Restaurants, cafes, and shops will pop up everywhere. People who used to say Langley is too far will now see it as a real option. The station will change the identity of Langley City forever. Now let's talk about property values, because I know that's what a lot of people are really wanting to know. History tells us one very clear thing, and that's when a new SkyTrain station opens, property values within walking distance to the stations do go up. How much depends on a ton of factors: how early you buy, how close you are to the station, and how much redevelopment is planned. But look at past examples. The Evergreen line changed Coquitlam and Port Moody, and the original Expo line reshaped entire parts of Burnaby and New Westminster. Now Surrey and Langley are next. And the timing is important, because the line won't be in service until late 2029. That means people who buy now or in the next couple of years will be holding before the surge of demand hits. As soon as the line opens, or even as it gets close to the opening, expect the demand to possibly spike. Investors are expecting this, and if you're paying attention, you might be able to take advantage as well. And this isn't just speculation. Multiple studies show that properties within an 800-meter radius of rapid transit stations command a price premium compared to properties further away. Why? Because walkability and transit access are value. And with Metro Vancouver's housing demand only increasing, being near a SkyTrain station isn't just nice to have, but it's going to be a requirement for a lot of buyers. And if you're sitting there wondering how your home stacks up in this picture, or whether now is the right time to make a move, you can book a call on my calendar. We can go over your specific situation, your goals, and how you can position yourself to take advantage of the shift before everybody else hops in. And don't forget, it's not just homeowners who benefit. Businesses are going to see huge opportunities. Just think about it. Every station brings with it a steady stream of daily foot traffic. That means more customers for cafes, more demand for retail, more opportunities for services, and beyond the direct station areas, the overall accessibility of Surrey and Langley improves. Suddenly, if you own a business here, your employees can get to work faster, customers can reach you more easily, and your exposure increases a ton. Take Willowbrook Mall, for example. Right now, it's already one of the busiest malls in the Fraser Valley. Put a SkyTrain station right out of its doorstep and watch what happens next. More people, more sales, more expansion. Or look at small businesses in downtown Langley. With the SkyTrain just a short walk away, suddenly they're not just serving locals, they're serving commuters and visitors from all over Metro Vancouver. Of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Projects like this always come with challenges and controversies. The first is construction disruption. Businesses along Fraser Highway are already dealing with detours, closures, and reduced access. Some are worried about losing customers during the years it takes to build, and that's a real issue. And while the province and municipalities are trying to mitigate it, then there's the issue of gentrification. Rising property values and more redevelopment, some long-term residents worry they'll be priced out. Rental housing near stations could see higher demand and higher rents, which is great if you're an investor, but not necessarily if you're a renter. Cities will need to balance growth and affordability. And finally, the question is whether this project will stay on budget and on time. The official line is yes, late 2029, 5.996 billion. But let's be honest, mega projects often face delays and overrun, and it's very possible. But let's zoom out for a second, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about numbers or contracts. It's about people. Imagine a family in Langley where one parent works downtown and the other works in Surrey. Right now, the commute times are unpredictable, stressful, and exhausting. With the SkyTrain, suddenly one parent can get to downtown in just over an hour. The other can get to Surrey in 30 minutes, and both can rely on those times every single day. That means less stress, more time with the family, and overall better quality of life. I'm thinking about a student at SFU Surrey who lives in Langley. Right now, getting there on transit is a hassle, and soon it'll be a quick, direct ride. That changes opportunities, it changes choices, and it makes education more accessible as well. And multiply that by thousands of people, and you can see why this project matters so much. Now, if you're someone who needs data to be convinced, here it is. Here are the opening year ridership forecast. 56,000 daily riders. By 2050, 80,000. Travel time is 22 minutes from Langley to King George and 65 minutes from Langley to Waterfront. The budget is 5.996 billion. For stations, there are 8. For bus exchanges, there are 3. And here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about one project. This is about building a regional transit network that finally serves the South of Fraser properly. For decades, Surrey and Langley residents have said they've been left behind curtains while Vancouver, Burnaby, and Coquitlam got the majority of the investment. That changes now. Once this line is open, the Expo line will stretch to over 100 kilometers, making it one of the longest fully automated rapid transit lines in the world. And that's just the beginning. The region is already talking about bus rapid transit corridors, more SkyTrain extensions, and more investment south of the Fraser. This is the first domino, and it sets everything else up. So let me leave you with this. In 2029, when the first trains start running, there are going to be 2 types of people. The ones who saw this coming, who positioned themselves early, bought property near stations, or invested in businesses along the corridor, and the ones who didn't. And a lot of times, the people in the second group say, I wish I would have bought sooner. However, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as timing it perfectly, and we don't know the direction things will head. Regardless, if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe, because I'll keep you updated with everything that's happening in Surrey, Langley, and across the Fraser Valley. And more importantly, if you want to talk about how this specifically impacts you, you can call or text me at 604-288-7592, or if you'd rather dive deeper into your situation, you can book a call on my calendar and let's put together a plan so you don't just watch the transformation happen, you can actually benefit from it. Thanks for watching.